our Pats Club president, and he takes no credit for his luminous decorations at home, Carmelo Bellardo III. He wants to thank Toastmaster Ty Patton for stepping up as timer at the very last minute. So let us all please welcome distinguished Toastmaster Carmelito Bellardo el Tercero.
Thank you very much. We're pressed for time, so we're going to jump right in. Evaluating speaker number 1, Toastmaster Tim Taylor. Let's welcome Toastmaster Will Hamman.
I have to say, I think computers are male, because technology is always the problem. Tim came to me before his speech and said he wanted me to focus on if he was reading his speech, his poise, and his humor. So we're going to get into that. Did some things well, and there's some room for improvement. Some of the things you did well is you didn't read. As you were going through, you kind of glanced down at your notes, and then you returned back and look around the room. You scanned the room and had good eye contact, and that connected us with your speech. Because ultimately, it's a topic that we've all dealt with. We all have computers. We've all dealt with weird links, and we're like, oh, should I click that? And it's a good reminder, oh, we really shouldn't click that. It connected us with the story. You asked the audience questions. Who here has heard of ransomware? Who here has heard of BEC? And when nobody affirmatively responded, he then defined BEC. I've never heard of it, and it was a great addition. You didn't falter when you tripped up. There were a few moments where you kind of stumbled over a word or you didn't wholly remember what you were saying, and then you quickly just moved on and were able to take a breath, pause, and move on. And that's what we should do as speakers. Not get flustered, not freak out and grab the podium, just... You have 7 minutes to make your point. Don't lose 10 seconds because you just stumbled over one. You told us how to prevent being hacked, get an audit, better training for your employees, and don't use the same password. A lot of us here probably use the same password. I know I do. Some things to work on is provide your evaluator with a copy of your speech beforehand, because it would be beautiful to know, okay, hey, this is kind of what you're doing, this is where I'm going to go with it, and kind of understand the ultimate path that I want to take. And the other thing that I want to say is when you're speaking, your eye contact was good, but stop and deliver a line to someone. Say a line to you. Say a line to you. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And move on to the next person because it really grabs someone in. Tim, you did a great job. We can all learn from it. Thank you.
Thanks, Will. Evaluating speaker number 2, Toastmaster Alex McGriff. Please give a warm welcome, that means this whole side of the room, to Toastmaster Lonnie Fowler.
Good morning, Toastmasters and guests. Alex, you told me the things you wanted to work on today. Of course, he's working out of the Pathways Manual, inspire your audience. You also wanted to make sure it flowed and watch out for crutch words. So I'm going to go over the things you did well. I wish you had your shades up here so I could use them. But oh, they are? Well, whatever. Oh. Well, your speech was luminous. You started out with humor. Hashtag baller, hashtag duck lips. I loved it. You engaged the audience as well with questions about New Year's resolutions. Why do we give up on New Year's resolutions? Where does it all go? You also made it relatable. Like me, I didn't see results fast enough. Great job. Now, the improvements, you actually didn't have too many moments with crutch words. You said you know about, twice, so, I think once. Oh, twice as well. And you mentioned this before, you were tight on time. I would do this speech outside the lectern. And as far as that also comes into play looking down at your notes. Engage with the audience with eye contact. More pausing for effectiveness when you ask a question, just to let it linger in the audience's mind. And then just to finish up with some humor, how skinny I was. I'm like, really? You still are, dude. It takes time. Keep trying. Great inspiration there. Gained more muscle when I was single. Why am I not there? Steps to get there as long as you are keep improving. And lastly, your close was very strong. Just because your year is coming to an end doesn't mean your goals have to. Excellent job. I look forward to your next speech. Thank you.
Evaluating speaker number 3, distinguished Toastmaster Mark Ehlers. Please give a warm applause to Toastmaster J. Shah.
Thank you, Mr. Master Evaluator, and good morning, everybody. Mark, you gave a fantastic speech today. I would like to point out to everybody that when Mark speaks, I think we've come to understand subconsciously that he is basically speaking literature. The verb, the choice of words, the manner in which he presents and delivers them, it's quite truly poetry in motion. Thank you for giving such a beautifully crafted speech and delivering it so coolly and calmly. I spoke to Mark during the 2-minute break about what he wanted me to look out for, and he said, let's just roll with it. That sounds like a good idea. John Nucitelli was a vexing character for me. I also did not know what he was or what he was about. I found it hard to connect with him because he was so unusual compared to normal people. And as time went on, I found that I came to have a lot of affection for him. We never grew as close as Mark did with him, or as many of the others, such as Carson and others, grew with him. I will say that, Mark, you illustrated basically the whole speech over 2 stories, and you spoke it like you were a schoolboy. The whole serious attitude that a lawyer of your stature may have was not to be seen in this speech, though the intelligence and grace and literary prowess you have was certainly there. We learned that John Nucitelli was a bridge builder between people of different types, different races, different backgrounds. Not something you would have thought. But you also might not know if he's a pirate, a pusher, or a pimp. You might not know what he is at all. I learned he also sold snake catchers. I think you told me that years ago, Mark. The speechcraft was impeccable, and you used this story, which is a platonic love story, to bring your spiritual connection with him into this earth and into this dimension. And along with the speech you gave about your father 6 years ago, it's the best speech I've ever seen you give. So thank you for giving this illuminous speech to all of us and talking about someone that many of us really loved and cared about a lot. I have no comments for improvement and nothing to critique at all. It was perfect. Thank you so much.
And evaluating speaker number 4, Toastmaster Josh Harris, the illuminous Toastmaster Tim Ricke.
Good morning, everybody. Hey, I heard you that time. Sometimes I have to ask that twice. And especially Dr. Harris. Who knew that he had a PhD? I didn't. I just remember when you were twice the size you are today. You were a big man, Minnie. He's lost a lot of weight. Congratulations on that. That's the hardest thing in the world to do, I think. Your speech. When you stood over here to the side, you did something really good. You were smiling, looking at the crowd, but you didn't have to put your hands behind your back. But it is better than a fig leaf, so either way it works out. But I would have started with stories that are very interesting. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters, and start out with getting our attention first. I think it's more effective if you do that. You had good eye contact as you got up to the lectern, and your hand gestures. We really knew where you were going. His is not his first rodeo. And he told me he thinks he'll be all right because he's done this before, and he certainly has. And you're back and right in the form that we remember back a few years ago. So congratulations on that. And you mentioned The Hero's Journey by Joseph Campbell. Read this book or read whatever you want on it. It's very, very good stuff. It'll improve your life as it has for you. New York City Call, New York University. And then you said it was a childhood dream. Look, I grew up from Wrigley Field. That was a childhood dream. So I can relate to the other big city at that time, you know. What did you do? When are you going to decide to let us know when the real estate market's going to fall? I would like to know. Yeah, okay, thank you very much, because it's got to happen soon here. You remain a very luminous speaker, and I appreciate that because you really showed up in what you did. The risk of lose all of that, that's very similar to the quote by Wayne Gretzky. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And that's right. But think of that. Please think of what he said there. That is very important because everybody has this word fear surrounding them all the time not to do something. Do it anyway, damn it. You know, excuse me for that. You can ring me on that one. But it's very important that you do because you're going to miss it. You got nothing to lose and you got to take the journey also. Mr. Tipple.
Mr. Timer, all speakers qualify.
All speakers qualified.
Thank you. Evaluators, please stand against the wall. Facing the wall, please. We are tight on time, folks, so let's be pithy with it. Who liked evaluator number 1 the most?
Oh, we liked him.
Thank you. Evaluator number 2, Lonnie Fowler. Thank you. Evaluator number 3, Shah. Thank you. Evaluator number 4, Toastmaster Tim Ricke. Thank you. Would all evaluators please be seated except for Toastmaster Shah. Congratulations, Jay. All right, where's the applause? Come on. Big round, big round. All right, it is 8:50. We'll take our back table reports, starting with our odd tabulator, Toastmaster Eugene Rotari. Brief report. Speak up, please.
Evaluator had 1 incident, Allison 2, 3 stigma 1, 3 steals 1, Lily